and welcome back. So I have taken a couple days off from the shop, which has been really nice. Just kind of needed to get back to zero after working for like 2 weeks straight. There's a lot that I need to do, obviously. You know, the car's not done yet, though it is back down on the ground for now. I need to raise the rear up. I need to put the interior back together. I need to troubleshoot why the lights aren't working. I have a few odds and ends to button up. But one of the things that really was on my mind that I wanted to get done was the new wheels. So I have, in the front, I have these Jegs wheels. I think I talked about this in a previous video. The fronts need a little bit of work to fit, but for the most part, they fit just fine. They're 17 by 4.5s. The rears that I bought in polished were the wrong offset. They were, I think, a 5.5 offset, and I needed a 6.5. Well, they didn't make the 6.5 offset in silver, they only made it in black. Well, we have a bit of a test. So what I did was I said, all right, how do you get powder coating off? And the internet says you can, you can sandblast it, you can use paint remover, aircraft stripper, or you can use, a few other methods like scrubbing, whatnot. Anyways, so this is some stuff I had sitting around. This is really old. I bought this years and years ago. Apparently this is no longer available to consumers. This has methylene chloride in it, and it is deemed, basically illegal by the EPA. It's bad for the environment. So I called around to a bunch of places today looking for something with methylene chloride in it because I knew that I had tested it once before and that it worked on the wheel. Everybody that I talked to said, no, can't get it. I said, all right, so I talked to an auto body supply place and I said, what's the next best thing that is available? And they said, this stuff here, this is GAR 4000 made by Clean Strip. And this stuff works just as good as the methylene chloride. So that's the old school stuff that they don't sell anymore. This is the new school stuff. I put this on at lunchtime today, around 12 o'clock. It's now 4. So in 4 hours, it ate through the powder coating. So that's great. Let me grab a rag here and we'll see what it looks like together when we wipe it off. So the old school stuff first. Obviously, you're supposed to wash this off, but for sake of the video. So you got yourself some bare metal there, which is nice. Okay, let's see about this one. Oh yeah, beautiful. Love to see that. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this thing on its back. Obviously, I don't care if the inside's got powder coating or not, so it was a good test. And what I really was concerned with is whether or not it would etch the aluminum. It doesn't appear to. I mean, it's only been a few hours, but that's a good sign. This is hopefully about what the consistency of the wheel face, if not a little bit smoother. And actually, if you look in there, they used a finer tool to get the face done. So hopefully, when I get the paint off, it's close to polished, or maybe it's even like, good enough I can just leave it and then it's not gonna take me much time. So anyways, I'm gonna start painting the front and then, or the face, I should say. And then once that's done, hopefully everything looks just like that, but silver. All right, here's a bit of an update. So it's been probably 2 hours. I had them coated completely in the old school stuff because I had maybe like a quarter of a quart left. I did a really good job, actually. I'm just kind of out here with a, plastic tool, just kind of scraping off all the loose stuff. There's still some pretty hard pieces in here, but it does scrape off if you get after it. So I think just another application, everything will come right off, but it's not one pass and done, but pretty happy with how it turned out, actually. It could look a lot worse. I'm happy it doesn't look like it's etching the aluminum, so that's good. The finish is definitely not as nice as like this area here, where they went over with a finer tool. It's just pretty coarse. Maybe they did that so the paint would stick better, I don't know. But it's definitely gonna take a lot to get polished if that's what I'm gonna do. Or maybe I just leave it the way it is, because I don't totally care that much as long as it looks silver, I'm gonna wash these off, and then probably tomorrow I'll get some more, because I don't need a gallon now. That was like $100. I'll probably just get the smaller one and then douse them again and let them sit, and they'll probably be done by tomorrow. Here's another update. So I have a on-demand hot water heater. I am pumping hot water through my drain into this tank here so I can get this stuff off, because it's obviously done and dried out. So out it comes into the tank, and we are rocking and rolling. Here's the last update for today. So after the dunk, I sprayed them with hot water. I mean, from there, they look pretty damn good. I'm gonna venture to say that these aren't gonna need to be polished. I mean, yeah, the front ones are polished. It might look weird if you get up close, but these aren't my forever wheels. And if I wanna polish them, I could do it with them on the car, or with tires on them at least. It's just gonna be a lot of sanding to get these things to where they would accept polish. Like, you hear that? There's a couple thou there that would have to be taken down. Like, this is nice and smooth. And that's pretty scratchy, so nah, I might leave them. Actually, kind of looks cool like that, but I'm gonna hit them tomorrow. So, got home, was able to get a lot of the paint off. We're at like 99%. You know, there's just little stuff left, and I could probably pick it off with my nails. But what it's done is it's kind of etched the wheel. So I was a little concerned about that. You see, it's got kind of a brown tint to it. It's kind of ugly. This part here looks nice. So what I did was I used Eagle One aluminum cleaner and a brass brush and just gave it a light scrub, and it seems to take all that brown out. So now I just have to do the whole wheel. Shouldn't be too difficult. Might take a little time. Other wheel looks very similar. An update. I have found that a green scrub pad, like so, works a lot better. I didn't even try steel wool. The razor blade is just getting the rest of the paint off. I need to get some paint stripper on these areas here. It's just kind of down in the grain. But it looks pretty good. You know, I'd be okay with bolting that on the car. It doesn't look like the front wheels, but it won't be too bad. But just to give you some comparison, that's what it looked like. So it definitely, you should not leave paint stripper on your bare aluminum too long because it will etch it. But I didn't leave it on long enough that it won't come out. But it certainly takes some elbow grease. Well, hello. So here we are. We have, I would say, 3.5 coats of paint stripper, some elbow grease. I used the brass brush, like I said, and the green scrub pad, and both of those seem to get a lot of the coloring out. I did use some aluminum wheel cleaner at the same time. I don't know if that helped or not, but it did at least give the pad a little more bite, it felt like. So anyways, this is how it turned out. In the video, it seems to look a little bit better than it does in person. There's still definitely some discoloration in the grain. There's definitely a grain, listen. I mean, there's, you know, it's definitely roughly machined, but it looks pretty good. So I don't really know if on the car you're gonna be able to, well, you're gonna be able to tell. I just don't know if it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna say I'm not doing anything to the back wheels except put tires on them and put them on the car and then see how it looks. If it looks weird, I'm probably gonna spray paint the front and the rear just like a cast aluminum color because I don't really want polished wheels. I had polished wheels on my Cobra and it was definitely a pain to keep them clean, keep them polished, keep them nice. So anything that, you know, keeps me from having to do that would be great. I may even powder coat them silver one day like those wheels. But for now, you know, it's a huge improvement. I can at least put them on the car at this point. I think they look pretty damn good. And it really wasn't as much work as I thought it would be. So that's the update. I would say if there was any negatives to this, around the outside of the rim, the paint stripper, you know, folded back a lot of this stuff. So it's just kind of hanging there. I may run it on the wire wheel just all the way around just to get that stuff off, but it really doesn't matter because once the tire's on, you're not gonna be able to see it. So other than that, I'd say paint stripper for the win. Hey everyone, it's Friday. So I'm going to do a compression test and I got some new plugs. So these are BR7 EFs, common plug. I gapped them at 40 because boost, and that's what I've told is recommended for these motors. So I'm gonna pull all the plugs out. We'll do a little compression test. We'll slap some new plugs in her and see how it sounds. I'll give you the results in a few. All right, I'm back with you. So got all the plugs out. These are the ones that were in the TR55s. They're looking a little rich. A couple of them are looking okay. Got some oil on them. You know, they're fine. So I did the compression test, got the new plugs in. So the average was 200. The only one that was a little bit low was that back one. Was the first one I did, hit 190. The highest was like 210, 215. So right where it should be. So we got TR7s at 40 thou. All the plug wires and stuff are put back on. They're run correctly so they don't get burned. I put some dielectric grease on them. So I think we're good to go. I fixed the electrical issue. Come to find out, if you don't plug in the wiring harness that goes to the column, you don't get brake lights, turn signals, or hazards. So that's fixed. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise the back up a little bit because it's just a smidge too low. I'm gonna try and put some pending angle in it with the top bars. And then I'm gonna take it for a drive, put some gas in it. So we'll see. Okay, so we got the suspension adjusted. We got everything topped off. What's left? I fixed the lights. Did a TPS auto set. You know, a few small things. I just need to take it around the block, just make sure everything's okay. And then if it checks out, I'll take it down and get some gas. And that'll be the longest drive it's been in 6 months. Wish me luck. Okay, just sitting here at a traffic light. So just filled the car up with the 85. It was the slowest pump I've ever used. Car's doing great. All the temperatures are good. I did spill a bunch of gas on the ground when I filled it up because my vent just kind of dumps and I didn't know when it was going to stop. So that sucks. The clutch is like off and on. I don't know if it needs bled again or what, but it is like borderline drivable. It's pretty bad. But it's driving, which feels really good. The 85 sensor showing 48%, which is fine. I do have a lot of gas in there. So yeah, things are looking up. Let's give it a rip. This thing's gonna go real fast when it's tuned. Okay, so the test drive has been very successful. I got about E58 in the tank at this point. The car's running pretty good. It definitely breaks up under acceleration. I'm pushing a little coolant out of the cap, and I think that's just because it's overfilled. Looking at the overflow, it looks like it's overfilled a little bit. But it sounds good. It smells good with the E85 in it. Way too low. So we're gonna get her home and let everything cool off and raise it up. Take a second here and comment that it was an absolutely beautiful day to be out in the car. It's definitely what we work for during the winter. I had stopped, get some parts, got the car running, put the laptop on, start data logging. Just gonna go out, just drive it, vlog it, see what the logs say, try and fix a few things, and then, you know, just keep repeating that process. that differential line. I still don't have the pinion angle right.
It should be noted here that I am running E85 for this initial tuning portion. I don't know if that helps me or hurts me, but I know that E85 resists detonation a little bit more than pump gas. So right now I'm sitting at about E60 with a mix of pump and E85.
Table, but I also had the map wrong on the fuel table, and I didn't know that, so I wasn't scheduling all the fuel that I should at a given RPM. So we'll see if that's fixed. Okay, well, we got a little coolant coming out of the cap. I'm gonna get a new cap.
So just to explain what I'm doing, I'm looking over the logs after I fix the spark and the fuel table maps. When I changed the map sensor to a 4-bar, it auto-scaled both the tables to like 48 PSI, which just totally threw everything out of whack. So after I fixed that in the last video and then got on it, this is the log from that. So as I'm looking at it, the AFRs are in like the 10.5 range. Per the tune, they're supposed to be in like the 11.4. all of which is super safe. So with the breaking up that I'm experiencing, I'm pretty sure that it's spark blowout because I never see it get super lean. It was getting lean before I fixed the tables, but at this point I'm pretty confident that the car is safe to drive and safe to get on. And at this point I had never gone over 65% TPS.
Here we go. That's the terminal cam. You can look at it if you want.
Oh, you got blower on.
Yeah, I just finished it.
You just finished this?
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing this last year without a blower on it at a car show.
Yeah, I had it out at the airport. Still trying to get it tuned right, but runs pretty good.
Check it out.
Thanks for moving. I
Yeah.
don't know why these E85 pumps are so slow. They're like, I used that one yesterday. It was like incredibly slow. This is the same, so.
Yeah, I'm just locked in anyway. Full-blown race car here.
No, I just haven't put it back together yet. It's a family car. I just priorities. I'm gonna be able to drive it before I put all the other crap in.
Yeah, you were there before. That's what I saw. Yeah, I had that thing 2 cars down from you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's clean, man.
Yeah, well, last year I was at the stage where I had my block stripped and I was sent it to the machine shop to get ready to throw it all together. It was supposed to be done by now, but it took me about 6 months to get into the machine shop, and now they still got the block.
Taking their time, huh?
Yeah.
They just super busy.
It was super busy. It took me 6 months to get in there, and even then, he just said he's gonna try to squeeze it in.
Wow.
He's booked out.
What engine you put in there?
It's a LS2 6-liter.
Nice.
This is-
That's just a 5.3, so yeah, the 6.0s are
It's a
hard to find.
full GTO drivetrain.
Wow. So you got the T56 too?
Yeah, T56, 6-liter. I got a dome, forged pistons, with beautiful high compression. I got Texas speed, the chop monster cam,
Okay.
big cam in
So it's V6 now?
it. Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be a hell of a difference.
It's kind of with my 5 sometimes.
Oh. When it's not running right, yeah.
You got a deal on the wreck details.
That's the way to do it, man. When I originally built this, it was an LS1 with a T56. I bought a 2001 Camaro that was salvage title, and I wanted the.
You just got T56 in it?
Yeah.
Did you?
I wanted the transmission more than anything, but the engine came with it. And I was like, all right. So the car, I kind of feel bad about it. When I tell people the story, I kind of get dirty looks, but it was a salvage title for somebody that hit the K member like real hard, and the car was still fine body wise. I sent it off to the wreckers after I was done with it because I was like, I need the engine, need the trans, so there wasn't much left after that. Yeah.
Did you do the shift to relocation on yours?
No, that's the stock F body location. I cut the hole for it because that whole trans tunnel is new. It's the stock Nova's like, I think they were made for a power glide. So
If you put that shifter in the way it is, you're gonna be shifting behind your back. So.
I mean they have depending on how your trans sits, they have the intermediate section that you can use, but they also have offset shifters.
Yeah.
That can actually get you forward or back.
He's probably gonna have to use the right one on the right center.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't have a whole lot of leg room there.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
All right, some more running around to do. Sure, I'll see you guys at Charco.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks. You're running good. I still have the timing taken out from the E85 table. Imagine if I put that damn 6 degrees in. Still breaking up a little bit though, at lower RPMs.
Okay, thanks for joining me. That was a pretty successful trip. We learned a lot. I fixed a few things. Still have a few things to fix. Got to get the interior put back together. I got to get the car completely tuned. I need to fix the pinion angle still because it's pretty noisy. But all in due time. So I think maybe what I'll do is engage someone who's professional at tuning. I am definitely not that person, and maybe just have them go over the logs with me. See if we can get this thing nailed down, and then we'll get it on a dyno. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Look for the next one.